What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great morning. My name is Bleeds. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto market, what we've got going on. And by the way, thank you so much for giving me the levity yesterday. I did have to go to the doctor. Nothing serious, just a routine checkup. Ow. And yeah, so that was fun. Yeah. I feel violated still, by the way. So anyway, we're going to talk about what's going on in the market. The Trump administration has announced secretly that they're trying to rally a quick meeting on Thursday to finish off the stablecoin yield. Brian Armstrong even stepped in. This is fascinating. Okay, this is the level of corruption for the US banks right now is unparalleled because the stablecoin yields have already passed. It was called the Genius Act. That passed a year ago. But the banks are now holding up. And by the way, how are they holding it up? They don't vote in Congress. So how are the banks holding anything up? Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense at all unless you're bought and paid for by the banks. So what is holding it up? Well, the Clarity Act is the thing that provides rails for all of cryptocurrency, not stablecoin. So we're going to break this all down. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. By the way, World Liberty Financial up about 17% today as there is a meeting in Mar-a-Lago to talk crypto for World Liberty Finance holders. XRP about ready to move again. The level of XRP on exchanges is going to an all-time low, but the market's not pumping. Something is going on. We're going to break this down. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleeds. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is, it's very, very interesting what's going on in the market. Let's break it all down. Make sure that you hit that like button on the way in. First up, Ellie Terra, friend of the channel, former Fox News analyst, currently part of Crypto in America, the CIA, by the way. Two sources familiar with the matter tell me that the White House is considering another stablecoin yield meeting between banks and crypto representatives on Thursday, though no plans have been finalized. Now, it's interesting that no plans have been finalized. The reason that no plans have been finalized is because the banks don't want to do anything about it. The banks want this to die. They want to stifle and kill crypto innovation. Now, they're not specifically looking at the innovation portion, but that's the end result of it. What they're looking at, and the problem with what they're doing is that you're not going to see you're not going to see. They think that this is going to stop stablecoin yields. Guys, if you put your money into Coinbase today, you earn yield. If you put your money into Kraken, into Binance, anywhere, you earn yield today. Nothing has changed. The banks are pretending that something that they're going to do right here is going to fix it. But the law is already the law. It was called the Genius Act. It's already passed. This is a very weird time right now where we can't seem to get the Clarity Act to go through because the banks are literally paying congressmen and senators to vote no. It's a very, very creepy sort of weird moment in time here where it doesn't make any sense. So, and by the way, you know what? I just realized that I screwed something up. So we're going to run over here. By the way, thank you guys for the Chicago Bears channel. We're getting just a ton of engagement. If you happen to be a Bears fan and you happen to be watching me right now, and you're here because of that, I want to thank you guys. Our last video is deep into the 5 digits, so Very nice. I appreciate you guys. Let's get into where are we right now. My videos. I forgot last night while I was doing it and completely screwed this whole thing up. Let's go to the live stream right here.
I just built a budgeting app.
What? How?
And
Base 44. Look.
and now it's freezing. Unbelievable. Never have I ever had it freeze on me. And, all right, there we go. So I don't know what that was about at all. Never have I ever had it freeze on me. All right, so now we're going to make the copy, and we're going to pop it in here. All right, there we go. So I don't know what that was about at all. Never have I ever, and now we have a chat. Oh my God, that was unbelievable. I've never been in a situation where just everything froze up just like that. Wow. Good morning to everybody. Believes, can you check out GameStop coin? The TA makes no sense, man. Is this a scam? GameStop coin? Is it a scam? Probably. Did GameStop, I mean, this is very, very simple. Did GameStop announce that they were launching GameStop coin? If GameStop announced it, then it's a GameStop coin. If they didn't, then it's a scam. That's it. There's no debating about it. You don't need me. You don't need anybody else to figure that out. All you have to do is go to GameStop and see if GameStop launched a crypto. If GameStop did not launch a crypto, it's a scam. The end. And you're not getting, by the way, you're not getting in early. Like, the basis behind meme coins, the basis behind scam coins is basically that they will launch something that makes it look like they're affiliated with some kind of thing, or an homage, if you will, and then it will dump. Then it's going to, and by the way, this is not the market for $100 million meme coins. This is not the market for all of those things. This is the market for, if you do this kind of stuff, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get destroyed. You're going to get annihilated. You're going to lose all your money. And it's because you keep thinking that gambling is going to somehow make it better. Here's what you want to do. Buy TAO. Buy ICP. Buy real cryptos with real utilities, with real use cases in the real world, and not just a meme coin that might one day pop 100x. Might. Most of them don't. And when they do, for the love of God, if you got $100 in it, take your money. Don't just wait for $1 million. Like, oh my God. So no, no. Anyway, so sources familiar say that this could happen. Also, President Trump just announced yesterday that the major crypto market structure bill is close to passing. Now, presidential confirmation. Trump signals imminent passage of S3755, HR 3633 framework jurisdiction split. Legislation formally divides oversight between the SEC and the CFTC. Provisional registration for exchanges expected within 180 days of enactment. The House already moved first. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act passed last July, laying out a framework that splits oversight between the CFT and SEC. The real bottleneck has been the Senate. In late January, the Senate Ag Committee narrowly advanced its own version, the Digital Commodity Intermediaries Act, in a tight 12-11 vote that shows how divided the room still is. There's been pushback too. Major industry players like Coinbase criticized earlier drafts, saying they boxed in DeFi and made stablecoin rules too restrictive. By stepping in now, Trump is trying to break that gridlock and push the bill across the finish line after earlier Senate efforts stalled. Under the proposal, the CFTC would take primary control over digital commodities like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That alone would clear up years of confusion. The bill also brokers and exchanges a 180-day window to register and secure provisional status once it becomes a law. That is a fast track compared to the current gray zone many platforms are operating in. The goal is to end the murky compliance environment that has left firms exposed to freezes and counterparty risks. CFTC Chairman Michael Seelig has suggested the bill could reach the president within months. That lines up with other moves aimed at pulling crypto deeper in traditional finance. Now, the hurdles that remain right here are very, very simple. Banks want control of everything. That's it. That's the only thing that's holding this up. Banks want control of everything. So we're going to pay attention to it. We'll let you know if something changes. This meeting tomorrow should be a banger. Now, another meeting that's going to be a banger is today. Mar-a-Lago is having a forum for World Liberty Financial. As per the data provided by CoinMarketCap, the coin is now up 19%, 17% at the time of filming here. This comes as a result of the Mar-a-Lago Crypto Forum discussion scheduled to take place later today, February 18. Notable Wall Street executives and investors will gather to talk about the future of finance and technology. Among the scheduled speakers at World Liberty are the CEOs of Goldman Sachs and Franklin Templeton, the president of the New York Stock Exchange, the CEO of NASDAQ, and Trump-appointed CFTC Chair Michael Seelig would also be speaking. This is a massive day for cryptocurrency. Now, is it leading to a pump in the price? Nope. Matter of fact, it's not. Why is it not? Because we're still being manipulated. Why are we still being manipulated? Because we don't have the price exactly where we want it right now. The sellers are still in control. Now, that could be even worse because there's more happening right now, which is not good. We're going to get to in just one moment. But number three, the FOMC minutes today. We're going to get FOMC minutes, the Federal Reserve minutes from January 16-17 meeting will be released today at 2 p.m. These minutes will provide insight into why the Fed decided to hold interest rates steady last month. There will also be consideration of any indication of future change of interest rates by the investors. That's the only part that we're looking for right now, and it's starting to look like we're going to get those cuts because inflation came in a lot cooler than expected, and the jobs market is holding up not as well as we expected. We had a huge number the other day, but we also then saw revisions taking us down for the last couple of months, meaning that the Fed should have cut rates, and it was irresponsible of them to not cut rates. So now we're going to start to see repricing of interest rates, but we're going to find out at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today what is going to happen here. Now, it could also be, by the way, this is counterintuitive. If we think that the numbers are going to be bad, I bet the buyers are ready to step in. Again, you're being manipulated. We're being manipulated. They're shameless in it at this point. So you never know what's going to happen. Now, XRP news, two things about XRP. XRP activates permission DEX upgrade to boost institutional DeFi adoption. Now, remember a few months ago, one of the big narratives was that, oh, absolutely not. We're not going to do permissioned. The future of finance is Ethereum or Solana, and it's going to be permissionless. No, that's not true at all. That's the dumbest take that I've ever heard anybody do. What you're now seeing is you're seeing the expansion into permissioned DEXs to help institutional adoption. DEXs don't care about the permissionless portion. They don't give a rat's ass about that, and they're wealthy enough that they don't have to. They are going to do it behind a closed wall, behind closed doors, because they don't want you to see what they're doing. And the fact that you think that they're going to do that says more about you than it does about them. I mean, really, the institutions, they don't want you watching. Michael Saylor continues to buy Bitcoin, but he doesn't share his wallets with you. He doesn't show you in his wallets. He hides everything, and he tells you that and lets you know that. They don't care about what you think. Okay, they don't care about your crypto bro attitude about we've been able to see everything. They don't care about that. They do not care at all. So watch for some interesting things happening here, by the way, on the XRP ledger. This is the move that will create more institutional adoption. When the time is right, we need clarity. Clarity Act. Now, per Axios, this is where it's going to get like crazy bad. Axios reports that there is evidence that U.S. war with Iran is imminent and Israel is preparing for a scenario of war within days, which is expected to include weeks-long full-fledged war, unlike the Venezuela operation, joint U.S.-Israeli campaign that is much broader in scope than the 12-day war in June. U.S. Armada now consists of 2 aircraft carriers, 12 warship, hundreds of fighter jets, and multiple air defense system. More than 150 U.S. military cargo flights have moved weapon system and ammunitions to the Middle East. Another 50 fighter jets in 24 hours, including F-35s, 22s, and 16s. Oil prices are surging above $64 a barrel on the news. So Trump is about to put us in a war, because he's going to stop all the wars, However, it's not his fault. I say it that way because he said, well, we're getting out of all the wars, and he's getting us into more. He's getting us into conflicts in Venezuela. He's getting us into conflicts now in Iran for the second time. He's bombed more people than Joe Biden did in 4 years. That's crazy. He's launched more drone strikes than Joe Biden in 4 years in 1 year. So I don't know exactly what the thinking and the logic is. I can only assume here that, remember, Iran killed about 30,000 people, allegedly. And by the way, I say allegedly, but I feel like it's been confirmed by legitimate sources around the world, that they killed 30,000 of their own citizens who were protesting the current Iranian government. And that was, quote unquote, a bridge too far for the U.S. So the U.S., which did not retaliate for these actions, didn't do so because they didn't have military cargo in that location. They were unprepared. And if we go in unprepared, we don't win. We give them a feeling of superiority. We give them a feeling of accomplishment. We give them a sense that they've killed American soldiers now, and they get inspired and they get confident. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to stomp it out immediately, effectively, and without question. So what I do anticipate is probably in the next 48 to 72 hours, a massive level of drone strikes on major Iranian strongholds that hold principal government leaders, the Ayatollah. I expect that we're going to see just an absolute carpet bombing of all major locations in the Iranian government, and it will be immediate. And then we will see some ground action that will not last for very long. This is going to be a shock and awe, if you remember that. This is going to be a shock and awe moment, in my opinion, and then we'll be done with this finally. But that does mean that the crypto market is likely going to dip, I suspect, below 2 trillion if it were to happen. That's another 20% dump in the market. Also, I do want to point this out because this is, Peter Schiff gets it right every once in a while. Peter Schiff made a statement here. It says PepsiCo spent $2.8 million last year lobbying to keep junk food eligible for food stamps. Then RFK got 18 states to ban SNAP purchases of soda, candy, and processed snack. How did he not get the other 32? That's sick, by the way. Within a week, PepsiCo cut Doritos, Lay's, and Tostitos prices by 15%. The CEO blamed affordability, but the timing tells the real story. SNAP is a $100 billion a year program. According to the USDA, 20 cents of every SNAP dollar goes to junk food. Frito-Lay products appeared in 7.2% of all SNAP shopping trips. The moment the government stopped subsidizing, PepsiCo had to compete on price, not regulation. No price caps, no antitrust probe. The subsidy disappeared, and then the market corrected overnight. Now consider this same pattern. The government money in, price up, pays out in college tuition, healthcare, defense, and every other industry with guaranteed government buyer. Federal spending is nearly a quarter of the entire economy, all of it inflating prices, all of it eroding your purchase power. Central banks see the same math. That's why they're dumping dollars and buying gold. The gold companies we cover in our investments research strategic asset newsletter are earning record profits at these prices, some trading at just 3 to 4x earnings. And this is a shill for gold. But that doesn't mean that he's not right about exactly what's going on. What's going on right now is the government subsidizing all of these different industries is coming to an end in many different ways, and now it's causing some prices to come down. Now I can go back and I can tell you in 2020, I'm gonna show you something here. If you want to order something, this is one of the local shopping places in my region here, in the Chicagoland area. This thing has been for a long time. The Strachan Van Til is one of those places. Now, at the beginning of COVID, Doritos were $3 a bag. Today, $5.49 for spicy and $5.99 on sale. Look at this. If you can't see this, Doritos prices, average cost $7.29 for a bag of Doritos. On sale right now for $5.99. Is that not, can we not agree that that is absolute insanity for junk? There's nothing redeeming, there's nothing healthy about Doritos in your body, and that is absolutely crazy. And the little bag of chips that used to be $1, right here, $2.49, normally $2.69. This is absolute insanity that we are paying for poison. Poison. Unbelievable. And by the way, sugar is a poison in your body. So hopefully we're going to see something happen here pretty soon. Next up, because I'm going to get on a rant here about bad foods and stuff. Now, remember this. This is a couple days ago. We did this one. And this is what was going on, right? So we had the FOMC vice chair speech. Then we had the Bank of Japan trade balance. Today we've got the FOMC meeting. Tomorrow we've got the Fed balance sheet. And then Friday we're going to get the US GDP data. Now, US GDP data is going to be really, really good, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. And the reason that I'm going to tell you that right now is because, remember, anybody who was reporting the data got fired by Donald Trump a few months back, and he put his own people in order to fluff and pump the data. Now, the unfortunate part is there has to be corrections in the data, so the data gets corrected later on down the road. Quietly, most people don't see it, but, and by the way, this is not exclusive to the Trump administration. The Biden administration was doing the same thing, and they were adjusting down. So, we get a report that we got 300,000 jobs created, and then they adjust it down 400,000, and we actually lost 100,000, but they reported 300,000. Wink, wink. So watch for information here, and it'll get really, 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 really weird at some point very, very soon. Now onto the ETFs. Bitcoin had outflows yesterday totaling 104 million. Ethereum had inflows totaling 48 million. Solana had inflows totaling 2 million, and XRP had inflows totaling 4.5 million. So we're seeing moves out of Bitcoin, but we're seeing a rotation into alts. And remember, we saw Bitcoin kind of struggle over the weekend, and from Wednesday of last week until about now, we've seen Bitcoin struggling on days where we've actually seen the markets in the green. And it's been altcoins that have been pumping. So we could be looking at an opportunity here for an altcoin surge. Now, we're not going to get any major altcoin surge until Bitcoin is done. By the way, we could get some movement. We could get some positivity out of it because the market and liquidity has been drained. But new buyers who are stepping in are rotating. So what we really need to see is we need to see a rotation out of gold, a rotation out of silver, a rotation out of less risky assets into higher risk and higher rewarded assets. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index was 11 on Monday. It's 9 today, meaning that it's still in that horrible spot, and we still just haven't seen that big move yet. Liquidity heat map still shows down to the bottom, that correction downward is what we're looking at, and it swept in and it pulled up some of this 66,007, could be going down to 66,006. This is in the shorter time frames. When we get to the bigger time frames, again, we're going to go to the 3-day and see what it looks like, and it tells me that the money is still sitting there in the 66,000 range, but that a sweep back up into around 70,000 could be on tap because these leverage position, these leverage traders, and look, this is everything that's wrong with crypto, by the way. This is everything that's wrong with crypto is leverage trading. And it looks like there is a pocket right there at around 71, 72,000, all the way up past 72,000 that could absolutely annihilate the shorts and change fundamentally the way that we're thinking about crypto. I mean, this is where this is where the big move would change fundamentally the direction of cryptocurrency. Now, we do need to get above certain positions here. We're down $6 billion on the day. But for the day, and by the way, for the day, we've had just been a dumpster fire. It's just been absolutely what we're looking at right here. Dow Jones up almost 300 points, but crypto's down today. And by the way, if you have not, it has been hilarious. If you have not seen all of the memes that are coming out right now from Pam Bondi, where people are talking about everything wrong in the world, and then somebody that looks like Pam Bondi just comes in and says, the Dow Jones over 50,000, because that seems to be the only thing that mattered to her, was hilarious. Some of the funniest things that I've seen in such a long time. It was incredible. By the way, if you haven't already, go to TikTok, go to Instagram, and start watching some of those. They are absolutely hilarious. It's funny. It's super funny. So anyway, Dow Jones looks like it's starting to surge. Looks like it's probably going to get back over 50,000, Pam. That should be nice for you. You know what I mean? You good girl. You good girl. Do you know she's 60? Did you know that Pam Bondi is 60 years old? Yeah. You know blondes are not 60 years old. I mean, you know that from Donald Trump, right? But seriously, 60. So let's see what's going to go on with Bitcoin here. So ranging right now, we're on the 1 hour, by the way. And the one tool that I want to use here for most of it is going to be Bollinger Bands. You can see them starting to really, really tighten here. And we're down below the 50 and the 200 MA. That means that a positive spike could be imminent right now. The push right now is to the downside, but that push to the downside has been over a couple days. This is perfect spot right now for a reversal. Now we're right in the middle of the range right here, this big green range. So I would suspect that we'll see probably a move to the upside off of this, because it makes no sense right now to dump even further. There's no money to be made there. Otherwise, remember, if most people are shorting the market, then it's stupid for the market to continue to go down, because that means that you're not attacking the liquidity, you're attacking the market. And if you're attacking the market, then you can't make money that way. Or you can make limited amounts of money, but you're just making everybody else rich. And that's not how you make money. If you're institutional, if you're a market maker, if you're somebody who's trying to make money off of the crypto market or in some way, if you're trying to make money that way, then in order for you to do that, you have to move the market in the opposite direction of where everybody is lined up. So if everybody's lined up shorting this market, you got to start wrecking those shorts. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? So, afternoon, what is going on? The Leeson. Amit, good morning. Axe221, blessings for your video on Ben. Yeah, Ben, by the way, just so let me tell you what's going on with Ben, okay? I guess, you know, at this point, Ben is being cared for by some family members. Basically, Ben is being cared for by family members. Cassie's helping, but ultimately, here's what's going on. Ben is just kind of out of it. The drugs that he was on for his bipolar disorder, they changed the medication, which caused him to spiral, and now they're dealing with that spiral. So he's not been doing well. In fact, it is my understanding that Ben does not believe that anybody is real anymore. He believes that TJ, or that AJ, and Justin, that we all work for Discover Crypto, and that we're spies, and just, you know, just a lot of very weird stuff. Okay, so we're wishing Ben the best in his recovery. We're hoping that he gets well, but he is going through some stuff right now. Okay, just want you guys to know he is going through some stuff right now. Maybe we'll get Ben back to normal at some point pretty soon. When we do, I will let you know, and you will. You'll be some of the first people to know if Ben comes out of whatever psychosis he's currently in right now. So that's the best I can give you in terms of what's going on with Ben right now. So Ethereum at 1982. Again, we've seen some surges in the market taking these things up to around 2,000, getting a little bit of range up here. But it's just not sustained right now. We've had moves. It's really just this kind of consolidation. When we back out to the daily charts and we refresh here just a little bit, you can see how much we're just consolidating in that range right now. If you put a Bollinger Band up here again, you'll notice how thick this was over a couple days here. As we were moving down, you can see, just to give you guys kind of an idea here, like let's just go from this day. to this range right here. Now, look at how tight that is. It's cut down to less than 50% of the length is where we currently are, which means that the band is tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening. So if we were to take this, move it down, put it like right there and say this is kind of a consolidation area right there. When it gets tight like this, here we go, right here. We go through this little tightness right there, and then that's when the breakout happens. The breakout's happening to the downside most of the time, so I'm not saying that anything's going to be different. I mean, we could be consolidating, and the breakout could be to that downside one more time, but that consolidation right now in range is what we're witnessing. So it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be a frustrating market. Now, look here on the daily. Look how far below the 50 and the 200 MA we are right now. The yellow should be the 50. The yellow should be the yellow is the 50 right now, and the purple is the 200. So we need a break back above into the ranges that I've been giving you for a while. We need a break into those ranges in order to like re-inspire some investor confidence. It's going to take a quick move up to 3,500 to get above the 200, and a quick move above 2,600 to get above the 50. And those are the targets. Those are the goals. That's where you want to be. The other thing is, you know what? I should put this up here so that you guys can see this on a shorter time frame. We're going to do the SMA right here, and we're going to do that on a 7-day MA. And we're going to OK that right there. And you'll see this little green line right here. Oh my God, we can't do that green line. That green line sucks. Inputs style. All right, so we want this to be, let's do, let's make it pink. Do we want to make it pink? A light pink right there. Let's do a light color right there so we can see that. So you can see right here on the 7-day, like we're just kind of right on that 7-day average right now. So I haven't seen any reason for it to start moving upwards. At best, you can say that, you know, you got this little move upwards right here, and you're getting a little bit of an upwards move right here. But until you actually start to break that structure and start to move up like right here and right here, then we are still kind of cooked. So we're watching to see something happen, but not seeing it. Solana, same thing. We're going to move on from some of these, and we're going to go down to stuff that I care about today, and that's going to be right here. Right here, we've got Tau. Tau at 189 right now. Again, the market down about 5 billion on the day. Tau had a nice big dip to $185.72 off of a top of $213 just 3 short days ago. But what we're looking for is we're looking for an uptrend, and we're trying to confirm that move here leads to a move here. We want to see some upward momentum. I set my stop loss, by the way, at 185. If you didn't know, I went long on Tau at $180 when it dipped the other day. And so I'm going to stop this out when I'm in profit so that I don't lose money on it. And same thing for ICP. I've DCA'd through a little bit of ICP right now, and I've got another one that I'm holding on to right there, a long position. It's down 5% right now. Well, it's actually probably down 4% right now because the market's kind of recovering a little bit. But I keep DCAing just a little bit here, a little bit there into this ICP long because I think that that's going to be one of those that explodes. Remember, NVIDIA reports its earnings in the next couple of days. So the NVIDIA earnings are basically all about AI. So the excitement for AI, if there is some, if we get like a leak on earnings or something like that, could be that we see a massive move from AI cryptos over the next couple of days. So that's why I'm holding on. Tau, again, surging in the last, here. Look at that. That's the green candle in the last hour right there for Tau. Just ate up what happened before. Near protocol is breaking out right now, moving from this dip that it just had a few minutes ago. And then ICP is starting to move on the same thing. Now, it rejected immediately at $2.34, but I think and I suspect that that means the money's starting to flow, and that the money flow is going to go into that, is going to go into ICP. Tau, and Near, as they are the top 3 AI cryptos. So again, because of NVIDIA, I think that we're going to see that. Also, you can check out Midnight. Midnight still starting to surge. Now, again, this Definity is just kind of working itself in this range right now. People still don't know. And I did, by the way, get some clarity here because we did ask the people who created Definity. We did have the conversation with them, and they did say that, well, yeah, we could have put Definity, DEFX, into the announcement. They didn't have a problem with it. We just didn't do it because there's something else that's coming for Definity that's really massive, and they didn't want to create a pump that's going to create a dump that's going to create another pump and stuff like that. They didn't want that heavy volatility. So in the next couple of weeks, maybe we see something big with Definity happening. I'm not sure that's true. I'm just telling you what I'm being told right now. But I mean, if you look at this right now, you're just looking at doji candle after doji candle after doji candle. There's just a lot of fighting back and forth on people. There's going to be a reason for people to hold Definity in very short order. So, you know, I think that we're going to see an upward move on Definity coming very, very soon. Again, there's a big announcement that they've got in the pipe that they seem to be real confident in. It's going to be a real market mover. Also, Terra Luna Classic starting to break above, went up to 4034.85. Not a huge move, by the way, but it is starting to look positive. Also, World Liberty Financial, so that you can see that right there over the last bunch of hours as they're preparing for this meeting, starting to see a nice little breakout. But it's getting eaten up on this last candle right here. People are taking their profits along the way, because that's what the people do. So what is going on, everybody? Night moved up a little bit. Yes, it did. What's going on, Mike Vollmer? Penguin, no holidays for me this year. Well, maybe we'll get one. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens here. Man you hate will save your bags. Maybe. So anyway, that's going to be the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We are, again, if you are a Chicago Bears fan, I want to thank you guys. I've had 3 million views from the Chicago Bears over the last 30 days. It's been just fantastic. You know what I mean? Last video was Tremaine Edmonds. Today's video is on Tyson Bagent. And, you know, people are engaging with the content, and I'm going to keep making it. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you.